Hello, this is William, the CEO of No Limit Games and co-founder. I'm here again with another new video for Battle of Souls. Our card game that we're working on is a trading card game. So, the last video, as you saw, the old cards we had were all white. We had no graphics, nothing really, no graphics at all to them. New cards are a halfway finished product. They're not completely done, but now we do have our back graphic on the card, which is our logo for Battle of Souls. The only thing we're missing now is the front part. Most of the design along the side is already completed. The only thing we're really missing is just this last part that goes in the center, which is our primary picture. And that's one of the reasons why we're setting up a new Kickstarter, to grab some more artists to come help us out finish up the rest of the game. So the mechanics of the game are almost the same as before. We have made a few changes since the last video we have made, and the last time we did a Kickstarter. We tried to enter into Indiecade for last year, actually this year in October, but we didn't pass the judging process. We had some mechanics we had to fix up, so we made some changes. So I'm doing a video right now to show the new changes that have been made. The primary change that was made was with the deployment system. In the last deployment system, we had a few requirements and required to actually go from one class of a warrior or a fighter to another class, and we found out these didn't work very well. So in the old deployment system, and I'll explain the colors in a second, in the old deployment system you had to have two warriors in play, and then if you had two warriors in play in your turn, you can sacrifice one of them and you put on elite, and that was the second class. And then if you wanted to get the warlord, you either had to have, well, you actually had to have two elites in play, and then you sacrifice one of those plus a warrior, and it gives you out your warlord. And then for the legendary warrior, you had to have two warlords in play, or at least one warlord and an elite warrior, but you had to sacrifice an elite warrior, a warlord, and a warrior, and then that would bring out your legendary. Okay, so we found out that it created too much of an issue in regards to balance, so we changed it up some. Now there's a different way to do this. We instituted a new thing called a kill token, and what the kill token does is it allows you to rack up kill tokens, and you use those kill tokens in order to upgrade to a new warrior rank. So let's say we have your warrior. Putting your warrior out is the same as before. You can put it out, there's no special requirement. Of course, there's always only one fighter per turn. And let's say your warrior attacks your opponent's warrior. If it attacks it, it kills it, then this warrior gets a kill token. When the warrior gets 3 kill tokens, then on your turn, if you haven't played another warrior out or any other kind of warrior class, you can sacrifice it with those 3 kill tokens and you put on an elite warrior. And that's it. Now, for the elite warrior, if you want to upgrade to a warlord, it needs 5 kill tokens. Once you have 5 kill tokens on the elite warrior, then you sacrifice your elite warrior, and now you have your warlord. So the warlord is the 3rd rank. A little hard to get out because you need to get out 5 tokens, which means your elite warrior has to survive for 5 turns and kill 5 creatures in order to get that, or 5 fighters in order to get those kill tokens. Now, if you want to get your legendary warrior out, this is going to be the most difficult one. For the legendary warrior, you still need to have in play a warrior, an elite warrior, and a warlord, but the other caveat is that the warlord has to have 7 kill tokens. And the warlords are powerful, but they are not all powerful, which means they can still be killed by an elite warrior or with some card combinations with tactic cards or equipment cards and using a warrior or elite warrior. So your warlord has to have 7 kill tokens. With those 7 kill tokens, you sacrifice a warlord, an elite warrior, and a warrior, and now you put out your legendary. So yes, legendary is difficult to come out, and for good reason, because they're almost overpowered. They're very, very powerful fighters, so it makes sense to make them the most difficult ones to come out. There might be games where you won't even ever get your legendary warrior before the game ends. There might be games you might not even get your warlord. Depends on how the gameplay is between the 2 players. So that's the primary difference with the new one. There's a couple of changes on some of the card effects. All of our warlords, some of our warlords before had no effect on them. Let's see if I have one in here. Oh, this one has one. And we made a change to that, so every warlord has an effect. Like here goes one right here that had no effect at all. You would notice it would have an effect down here at the bottom. But now we made some changes to some of the card effects, balanced them a little bit. Some of them required too little of a SP or a soul point sacrifice, so we needed to up that up a little bit more because it was kind of overpowered. So we made some changes to the card effects, changed the deployment mechanics. It seemed to work out pretty well. We tested it out with a couple of focus groups. They loved it. Didn't have anything negative to say of it, other than some cards were a little bit more difficult to understand. So we're going to fix that as well. But right now, let me go with the. Let me go ahead and show you the card colors. As before, we had just the white cards, and there was no variation of what kind of card it is. But now we have it fixed out. So the green cards and green colored cards are going to be your battlefield cards, basically, representing the field, the earth, and stuff like that. These are your battlefield cards, and they still have their symbol. They're gonna have the symbol on the top, which is like kind of like a cemetery cross that shows your battlefield. Your tactic cards are going to have a symbol kind of like an hourglass on the top, and they are a little bit gold colored, kind of like gold, yeah, pretty much a gold colored card. Those are your tactic cards. Your equipment will have kind of a symbol of a shield and sword at the top. It is a bronze, kind of like a brownish kind of color, representing like bronze armor. As for the fighters, start the lowest one. Your fighter, your warrior, your basic fighter is the lowest rank. Those would be black. Your elite warriors, second rank, those are silver. Your warlords, your third rank, kind of like a royal maroon, royal red color. And then the last one is your legendaries. It looks white on here, but it's actually going to be kind of like a silver, maybe holographic color for it at the end. And with each one of the warriors, or each one of the cards, as you know, the first set we have samurai warriors, Viking warriors, and Aztec warriors. So there will be a symbol in the background, like a watercolor symbol in the back of each card, especially for the warriors, that represents whether it is a Aztec, a samurai, or a Viking type warrior. And I'll have those images on the Kickstarter when we set it up. So I do hope you guys like the changes that have been made. If you're local, if you're in California, we are able to set up a demo. Just let us know. My email address and contact information will be in the Kickstarter. So thank you guys for your time, and I look forward to having you guys play the game.